All right, guys. Today we are gonna be reacting to Andrew Wilson's School Feminist on what submission really is. I love these topics. Jump in.
Be married and all that stuff. But for me, like, I believe that, like, if he believes our kids shouldn't go to that school, I'm gonna like talk with him about it and just be like, here's my opinion, here's your opinion, okay, let's talk about it, and be like, oh, I get your side. Even if it's irrational, I'll probably like agree with him. I'm just a very agreeable person in most things, not all things, but I'll probably be like, okay, you have authority over me, I believe in you. If you think this is the best choice, this is the best choice, but if you're wrong, you have to admit that you're wrong, kind of thing.
Why does he have to admit he's wrong?
Just because, like, that was his choice. And, like, if
And that way you can hold it. You can hold. Sorry, man. That's so wrong.
let's say I really disagree with him on something, he chose to do that, and let's say it hurt our family somehow, I just want to be like, I'm sorry I did that. I should have prayed more about it. I should have talked to some advisors about it, the pastor about it, or with you more about it. But I do believe that he has authority over me and that I should submit to him just because I believe in gender roles in the household.
So how do you know the metric of who's wrong?
Like,
So in this case, you say if he's wrong, you should admit it. Let's say he says, no, I wasn't wrong. I was right. This was the right move, and you're wrong.
well, everyone has a right to their own entitlement, to their own opinion about right and wrong. That's when I think we should go to advisor and ask them more about it, or pray more about it
Who
too.
makes the determination, right? If you're submitted. So as you start to whittle this down, we start to kind of dive into it, right? If he's wrong, he should admit that he's wrong. So he looks over at you and he says, yeah, but I'm not wrong. You just think I am, and I don't care.
No,
Is he in the wrong?
I'm saying the hypothetical situation. Let's say, like, he led our family, somehow we lost a bunch of money because he chose to invest in something or that he thought was going to like prevail, and then he's like, I'm so sorry, I thought this was going to do really well, then all of a sudden it didn't. That's what I'm saying. Not
Yeah,
necessarily
but what
like,
if he looks at you and he says, yeah, I made this investment and it went wrong, right? But I was still in the right here.
I don't think he would say that to me.
Yeah, but if he did.
If he did,
Yeah.
I'd probably be upset about it, but I probably am very forgiving of
Exactly.
people.
Exactly. Ding, 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 ding. There you go. Don't apologize to your women. So what a real man does, right? This is my opinion, right? Based on experiences. You don't apologize, right? You don't apologize and you don't admit that you were wrong. You just simply go and fix it. Next time around, you just fix it. The reason you don't want to do that is because when you apologize, you're not in a position of weakness. I know, folks. I know this is weird. But when you apologize to a woman, she always going to hold that against you. And that's why I didn't understand that when I was younger. But when I will just see my father and other folks never apologizing, I never understood why. The reason is because when they apologize and they keep apologizing, what happens is the females, they start having like a vendetta against them. They don't like that. They simply don't like that. So a lot of guys, what they do is simply they stop doing it. Personally, what I would suggest, right? My opinion is just move forward with the decision, own it. If it is wrong, just make next time around, just fix it. Don't tell anybody, just fix it. Fix it. Go in your shower, meditate about it. Next time, just fix it. But don't say, I'm sorry. That will put you in a bad position. Even in your job, you start saying, I'm sorry in your job. Man, these people are going to hold you right in your neck, man. So think about those things. It's a
Probably
weak
just
position.
be like, okay, whatever you think is right is right. Because once again, I believe in the gender roles and that if I'm marrying someone, like I have to be submissive to him because I believe in that nuclear family.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. Andrew, nice shot. You see what I'm saying?
I also agree. I'm with Natalie on this one. I have always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. That's my dream. I literally told my parents that I'm going to work and then I'm going to find a husband and I'm going to keep working until I'm pregnant. And as soon as that baby pops out, I am at home. I'll do the cooking, I'll do the cleaning. I just want to be at home with my children, serving my husband. And I'm with Natalie. I believe in, what did you call it, a nuclear family?
Yes.
A nuclear family where the husband is the head of the household. He does all the heavy lifting stuff. I do the stuff with the kids. I do the carrying. I do the laundry, whatever. And I agree with her. I think that it's one of those things that I want to talk to.
I'll do the cleaning, I'll do the cooking, or whatever, but they never say, I will serve my husband. I would serve my husband.
about. If I think that this is irrational, I'll give my opinion. I'll ask, like, okay, why are you making this decision? Like, what is your
Yeah,
rationale
but what if
behind
he doesn't
this?
want to hear your opinion? He says, I don't want to hear your opinion.
Then he'll be a bad husband. What type of what type of godly man will not want to hear the opinion of his wife?
There we go,
You're
feminism.
nodding over there, right? Well, so what if he thinks, for some reason, that even hearing your opinion will second guess a decision he thinks he needs to make? So he says, what? I don't want to hear your opinion on this, and I'm not even going to explain myself. What type of awful wife doesn't submit immediately to her husband's authority and let him lead like he's supposed to?
So you're saying that he doesn't want to give his opinion to me. He doesn't want to give.
Who's the leader?
Well, he would be the leader of the household.
Why do you make the expectation that leaders have to answer their subordinates? Who's the leader and who's the follower here?
I would at least expect him to love his
Yeah,
wife.
that's right.
And
So
at
who's
least
in charge then with your expectations? Who's in charge? Him or you?
Okay, why would he marry me if he didn't love me? Why would he marry me if he didn't at least want to hear me out?
How is this a question of love?
Because if you love someone, you would want to hear them out. Wouldn't you?
Why? Hey, there's tons of times I don't want to hear out people that I love who are saying stupid things I don't care about.
Okay, then why would I want to hear? Then why would I want to hear out my husband?
That there have been people around who you love who say stupid ass shit that you don't want to hear because it's nonsense. Plenty of times in your life you can cope and say, no, there's not, Andrew. There is, right? This idea that somebody doesn't love you because they might dismiss an opinion that you have doesn't mean that they don't love you. Mm-hmm. Who's supposed to be in charge here? Him or you?
He is the one who would ultimately make the decision, but as long as I know his reasoning behind it, that is okay. If this decision is involving our children together, if it's involving our children together, then that's what it's important. It's important because I'm the one taking care of his children.
And it's
I am the one doing the job for him.
Care of those children. Isn't it his decision how you take care of them?
So you're saying that he would marry me to birth him his children, then he would divorce me because
no, I'm saying
he doesn't
that,
want me to.
What does submission mean? What does it mean?
I will submit to him because he's my husband. I will do things for him.
Yeah, what does that mean? You just use the word to describe the word. What does submission itself actually mean?
Submission would mean that I would do what he wants. I would follow what he is.
You would obey.
Obey, yeah. I was looking for that word. It's not do what he wants. No, it's not. That's not what it is. Obey.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I will obey what he wants.
Okay, well then why does the person that you are obeying need to answer to you for your obedience? I don't get that.
Because I would care. Because I would care about what's happening.
He cares too, but who's in charge here? I thought that submission meant obey. I didn't think that submission meant would you want your wife? Yes, you need to explain. You need to do all of this. I thought that it meant obey. I thought it meant obedience.
Would you want your wife to be a silent slave to you?
That's not silent slavery.
Yes, it is.
That right there, that's feminism right there. That statement that she said.
Silent slavery.
Yes, it is. Be a silent slave to you.
That right there is a feminist talking point. Right there. And you say nada. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Really? They say submit from the mouth out, right? But the reason a lot of these marriages that just collapse is because, females, they want to be on top. Females want to lead the family, and the husband's supposed to do everything that they wanted them to do. But they want nothing when it comes down to responsibilities. And I have to say, guys, men, they failed that shit test. They failed. Early 20th century, we failed. We get them the right to vote, a lot of this responsibility. Now understanding, it probably came from a nice place. Don't get me wrong, folks. They probably came from a nice place. However, we never understood why we didn't do it for thousands or hundreds of years. But there's a reason why. It's a lot of responsibility for females, folks. Leading, even they don't want to admit it. But when you put the accountability right in front of them, their worlds collapse. But they should collapse because they're not meant for that. They're not meant for that, folks.
That's not silent slavery.
Yes, it is.
How?
If you, okay, submission is I would listen to you. I will do what you want. But you have to, okay, hey, do you know what the servant vassal treaty between God and man is? Do you know what that is? The servant to vassal treaty. God gave stipulations to why the people of Egypt should listen to him, because he brought them out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery, into freedom. And that's why they follow his commands. I follow my husband's commands because he'll listen to me, or not. I will listen to him because he explains.
She got caught. She got caught in her own backwards. She brought this Egypt stuff that, you know, God was telling the people of Egypt, like, hey, you guys better listen to me. And then she tried to just put it in her own situation, and all of a sudden she's like, hold on. Yeah, I'm supposed to listen to him, not the other way around. I'm telling you, man, these modern witches ideologies are just spread so far. And I'm not a black pillar that said, man, this is all gone. No, we have to do the work, folks. We have to do the work.
Me his reasoning, and I will understand.
So you're gonna start crying now.
So why? Okay.
Work here. There's a treaty.
Right. What happens if he explains his reasoning and you disagree?
At least I would have known his reasoning.
Yeah.
At least I wouldn't have been silent.
And what happens if
I could give my opinion, and
Oh
if he
my God.
ultimately
So what happens
decides,
if you disagree, though?
then I will disagree. But at least I will know his reasoning.
Yeah. So I don't understand. If you disagree, are you going to do it anyway?
It's knowledge is key. I would like to know why. Maybe
I feel that's not answering the question.
I would agree if I know
Yeah,
why.
I know, great. But he explains his reasoning and you disagree. That's the question. So then what happens then?
Okay, I've already answered your
Look at
question.
Nala.
I said
Look at that. Folks, and some of you guys were saying that I do a lot of these body language. Again, I'm not a professional, but I like this. I point at certain things and I'm like, oh, okay. This is kind of weird. Look at
Great,
Nala.
but he explains his reasoning and you disagree. That's the question. So then what happens then?
It's like, man, Andrew's not caving in, man.
Okay, I've already answered your question. I said I will
What is
still
it?
go through with it. I would
Then
allow
why do you
him to
need to
do
know the
it.
reasoning?
Because I would like to, it's curiosity, sure.
Partnership.
It's a partnership.
So submission is I will obey even when I disagree, but you still must tell me to satiate my curiosity. That's submission.
I just would like to know why my husband will make a life
that's great that
decision.
you would like to
I
know,
would
but
like
I don't
to know
understand how that's
why my
submission.
husband will make a life-changing decision for my children. And if he does not want to tell me, then what type of husband, what type of loving man will he be?
Yeah, but that's really
At that point, I'm just a slave to him.
Yeah, this logic makes no sense. And
Your
explain
logic
why.
makes no sense, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna explain. I'll explain.
Okay,
why your
explain
logic-
to me.
Nala has some resentment towards Andrew. I'm telling you, bro. Oh my
No
God.
sense here. It makes zero sense. So if you're saying to me, I'm just a mindless slave who must do what you want, all you're saying in counter to this is, I'm a mindless slave who still must do what you want, but you have to satiate my curiosity. So in other words, I'm going to do what you say either way, but as long as you satiate my curiosity as to the slavery, then it's okay. How in the world does that make sense?
God uses the woman just as much as the man in a relationship.
You are twisting my words.
No,
You're
I'm
trying
using
to
your
make me
words
look. Are
because
you
they're
trying
your
to make me look
words.
stupid? Okay, what I'm
No,
saying.
you're doing that yourself.
Here,
I'm just
can
sitting
I
on it.
explain?
Oh my
Can I
God.
explain?
Can we be polite,
May
please?
I please explain?
Wow, look at that. Brian, where are you, bro? You cannot allow this to happen. You see how disrespectful she is? Oh, man, shut up.
You're
I'm
trying
using
to
your
make me
words
look. Are
because
you
they're
trying
your
to make me look
words.
stupid? Okay, what I'm
No,
saying.
you're doing that yourself.
Here,
I'm just
can
sitting
I
on it.
explain?
Oh my
Can I
God.
explain?
Can we be polite,
May I
please?
please explain? Let's
Yeah,
say,
I
let's
just
say,
explained
okay.
it to you. Here,
Let's
I'll
say,
explain it to you again
let's
if you
say the school that my children are currently going to, he doesn't like a teacher there for some odd reason. He just doesn't like a teacher. So he wants to send them to a school that's maybe 20 minutes away compared to this 5 minutes away one. All right? That's like, it's kind of irrational. You just don't like a teacher. But he talks to me. He says, this teacher here at the school, I don't think it's perfect, it's good for my kids. If my kids stay here, then it will just harm them. It won't be good for them. Still be like, it's 20 minutes away. it's kind of irrational, don't you think? He's like, but yes, at the end of the day, I don't think this teacher is good for my kids. And I'll weigh it. You know what? You're right. This teacher might not be good for our kids. I understand.
What?
And I'll take them to that 20 minute away
what are
school.
you going to weigh it against?
What she just said.
Wait, can you repeat that, please?
You said you're gonna weigh what?
I'm gonna say, yeah, I agree. Maybe this harmful teacher is more damaging than a 20
You know why this argument is stupid? Because then you can flip it. Say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is stupid. You can flip it. But what if you're the one saying that? Like, it's stupid.
minute drive to a school.
Got it. Okay. So what happens in this situation if you disagree with him and you think his reasoning is off? Are you going to do it anyway?
Honestly, I think that depends on the situation.
Right.
I don't.
Okay.
There's okay.
So when we
there
get
is
to
a
the heart
lot.
of it,
It's a spectrum.
it's not really
spectrum.
about submission, right? It's not really about obedience, right? If you think that he's being irrational, right, by whatever metric you decide that is, right, then you will not obey, will you?
In your idea of submission, you might as well just buy a sex doll and carry that around. Because
That's
for
not-
you,
that's not argument.
Man, Brian, bro, you have to come in. You have to put a rule. You have to drop the hammer here, man. You cannot. Not that disrespecting.
for
In
you,
your idea of submission, you're in charge.
no. In my
Yeah.
idea of
Never said
submission,
that.
in my
Never
idea
said
of
that.
submission,
Then tell me
we
this,
are
tell me
working
this.
together as a
Then what are the
family
consequences if
where
you
I will
disagree?
support him from the
What are the consequences
sidelines.
for the man if you disagree and don't want to do
Yeah.
it? What are the consequences for him?
Look at
Say it again.
that. How they talking to each other? Like, man, I'm getting triggered here, bro. This is so wrong. Now they're talking to each other, like they're not respecting. Yes, this was important. Set up boundary from the beginning, man. And a lot of people, they hate them, fresh and fit. But each of these podcasts, they have good things, right, and they have bad things. But when it comes down to dynamics in a podcast, right, this is why Myron is very good, man. He's very good at it. He will literally just put these females in their place right at it at the beginning, and that way they don't do this. See how they talking to each other? They're laughing, Mr. Wilson, and then you see Nyla here slamming the table and all that stuff. Come on now. And then this lady's always talking. I don't even know what the hell she's talking about by now.
What are the consequences for the man if you disagree and don't want to do it?
What are the
What are the
consequences for him?
Yeah, what happens? Yeah, what happens?
Do you expect me to say he'll go sleep on the couch?
I want to know what the consequences are.
We'll talk. I've talked
he
about
says,
you
but
and I have
baked
talked.
into the hypotheticals, he's like, I don't want to talk about it. We're done with it. I'm doing it this way. And that's
Okay,
that.
then we don't talk.
Yeah. So then, what are the consequences?
Sex. She
Give
wanted
me-
with whole sex. That's what he's trying to get from her, with all sex.
Like what? Like what?
Like what?
You
Like,
have
if
to
there's
tell
no
me a
con- so in
situation.
other words, if there's
Please
no
tell me a situation.
consequence-
I can't just
if
make up a
there's no
consequence. 50
I'm gonna explain
lashings.
it.
Like, what do you want me to
I'm gonna explain
say?
it to you. If there's no consequence, then what is the point of you even having an objection? So if there's no consequence, you're going to obey anyway. Why is there even a need to express the rationality to you to begin with? That makes no sense to me.
If he has something that I don't agree with, I'm gonna let him know. I'm a person who will support you from the sidelines, but if you do something wrong, then I will let you know. I will tell you. I don't understand why that's so confusing to you.
No, I'm going to explain again, right? Because all you keep doing is
Yeah, there's a lot of shame. They're trying to use shame, guilt, and they need to be right. Insults too. They're insulting by body language, right? Oh my God, the guy's dumb. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff, it messing up when it comes down to these conversations, especially with females like that, you have to correct them right away, man, and show them how do we do stuff here, man. And Brian Stein, look at that. He's like, I don't know, man. Oh, I don't know what to say. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you next one.